Remember how we read the message of Ashura? But Prophet Muhammad fasted before Ramadan was made obligatory, but it was not made obligatory until that year. And subhanAllah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu and people that fasted at that time, they did not fast the same way we fasting now. Like even the eating, I was listening to a lecture earlier this week, and Sheikh Kamani mentioned it, that it was from the evening. Even when they eat at the time. If they miss the time and they sleep, that's it. It's over. They have to stay fasting until the next day. So, subhanAllah, the fasting was made obligatory. Does anyone know any events, Islamic events that happened during the month of Ramadan? Yes, ask you. Huh? Laylatul Qadr. What is specific about Laylatul Qadr? Laylatul Qadr. Yes, Abdurrahman. Uh-huh. It's okay. We have a story about that Laylatul Qadr, right? Yes, Adam. 1,000? No. 1,000? Yes. Month. And how many years 1,000 month would do? Do calculation quick.
81.
82. About, yeah, 82 or something.
Wrong.
Good. No, it was close. So, if you do catch that night, anything that you would do during that night, it's literally like if you've done it for 82 years. What is the like the measure of people's life? Like how long nowadays people can live? In America, what is it? I think 68 something. Like the strength. Like
54.
anyhow, between let's say 80. Let's say 80, okay? Now if you catch later on one night, it's like if you've done it, if you do the whole of your life, in that. That's very important. And any other event that happened in the month of Ramadan? Very quick before we move to scriptures. So, Ramadan. Eid happens after Ramadan. Or I was sent down in minutes of other very good. Omar. Very good. There were two battles that happened in the time of Ramadan. Huh? That he said a battle happened during the month of Ramadan. I just wanted to ask him, does he know the name of the battle? Better, very good. Another thing. And then she said that. Someone else for the battle? Okay. Right. Battle what? No. It was the conquest of Mecca. Because Mecca was also during the month of Ramadan. So, subhanAllah, so Ramadan has many virtues. One of the best important things about the month of Ramadan is the ajr, the reward of it. There is a hadith Qudsi that says that every single ibadah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, determined or showed the reward of it, except fasting. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives that for him. But He's going to reward him. We do not know how much reward we can get for that month. Now, fasting is, I heard you earlier answering Amy's questions. I heard so many things. I heard feeding the hunger, feeding the hungry people, feeding the, empathy. I heard, but it's a wajib. So the first thing is, it's a fard. It's one of the pillars of Islam. So like prayer, fasting, if you are Muslim, you have to fast. You have no excuse unless there is some special conditions that you have that you cannot fast. And we can talk about that if we have time, or maybe later in the month of Ramadan, but it is a wajib. Anyone that is mature, that reached puberty, and he's not aqil, he's not insane, he's he's an adult person, he's active, they have to fast. Okay? So that's a wajib. Now the other thing also for the month of Ramadan, if we leave the fiqh part of it, um, we all struggle in our life with our spiritual, life, like with our connection with Allah, with our salah, with our, embedding ourselves, with our heart diseases. So the month of Ramadan, it's a way for us to train ourselves to stop anything that is bad that we're doing outside of Ramadan. And inshallah would be a start and a continuation after the month of Ramadan. So that's why, it's sad to say that, but subhanAllah, during the month of Ramadan, the masajid are filled compared to the other months because people, unfortunately, we hope to see that every single day, not only Ramadan, but that's to show you how people are really eager to make it. So, inshallah, we'll talk about some tips for you to get to that, but Ramadan, it's like this training that you train yourself into battling any addiction you have. If it's in food, you'll be fasting the whole day. If it's, I don't know, like some people, they smoke, inshallah, nobody does, it's haram already. But if people, that's a good chance for them to quit smoking. Anything that you do that is not good, you can train yourself and stop doing it during the month of Ramadan. So it's a training, it's a salvation. You kind of like train your soul in doing the best of yourself. And if we could pray Allah Rak'ah every night during the month of Ramadan, I think praying in addition to the 17th, I think it would be inshallah for Ramadan easy to pray your regular prayers 5 times a day. Okay? So Ramadan also, subhanAllah, it reflects your taqwa. What does it mean? So when we talk about taqwa, what is taqwa? Can anyone explain what is taqwa? Okay. Taqwa is how you interact with Allah. The fear you have for Allah, not out of fear, out of the fear of punishment, but most of it out of love. You do not want to disappoint Allah. So taqwa can be not practiced, but can be seen clearly during the month of Ramadan because all what you're doing from the first day of Ramadan until the end of it is trying to avoid to do anything that Allah is not an agreement with, or that Allah is not going to be happy with. So fasting and taqwa goes together, subhanAllah. And inshallah, again, it's a training for everyone to train themselves to be more aware of Allah's presence with them all the time and continue with that after. If you got it, that's 2 months of, because you cannot just stop eating. Ramadan or fasting is not just stop eating from sunrise to sunset. It's everything else. Praying your prayers on time. Making sure that you're not backbiting anyone. Making sure that you're not harming anyone. Making sure that you are patient with people that are treating you in a bad way. So, subhanAllah. So these are your struggle or your way to show taqwa to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, again, there's some adriyah. I'm not going to go over the da'as and the ayats just because of the sake of time, but subhanAllah, we're going to have a conference at the end of the day, and whoever wants to take them to practice, inshallah, these adriyahs during the month of Ramadan. Of course, the fast becomes wajib and when people see the moon, and it has to be, at least one person, trusty person to see it. So this is the dua when you see the moon, subhanAllah. So, the virtues of Ramadan, before I show this, let me see if you know any of this. What are the things that you know that happens in Ramadan for your favor? Layla. Yes, the devils, the shayateen are locked up. Okay, what else? Radwan. Yes, Ramadan, Shahr al-Quran. Yes. Malak, right? No? Lina, sorry, Bahama. Very good. The gates of hellfire are closed, the gates of Jannah are open. Anything else? So the hellfire is locked and the gates of paradise are open. This is based on the Prophet Muhammad's hadith. That's not Ammar, that's Harun, right? Yes, Harun. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive your sins. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever fasts during Ramadan out of sincere faith, iman and wahid sabbath, and hoping to attain Allah's reward, then all of his past sins will be forgiven. Would you like to have all your past sins forgiven?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's your trend. Okay, Laylatul Qadr. So again, we spoke about that. Laylatul Qadr is إنا أنزلناه في Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر. A month, okay, the night of Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. Okay, so what are the virtues now? That was the month of Ramadan. The virtues of fasting. Okay. So, the virtue of fasting, what does fasting do to us? I mean, honestly, I don't know if you heard this, but lately, like I think the last 10 years, I heard a lot about benefits of intermittent fasting. A lot of people, like for health purpose, they would be fasting. So that tells you what? Tells you that fasting is good for you. I know many people that had health issues, like blood sugar that rises, blood pressures, and with the intermittent fasting, they were able to get rid of it. So fasting is beneficial. Health-wise, it is. So besides the health-wise, it is a shield. A shield from what? What fasting could be a shield from? Fasting is a shield. You protect yourself from the fire. Read the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad that says, fasting one day keeps you 70 years away from hellfire. One day. That's beside Ramadan. It keeps you 70 years away from the gates of the hellfire. So think about that. Fasting the whole month. Okay, in intercession. In intercession, what does it mean to intercede? What does it mean? Shafa'a, what's that? Anyone? Come on, guys. Let's make this interactive. You can read it and tell me what you understand from it. So what the Prophet ﷺ said. Fasting and Quran. We spoke about this before, how the Quran intercedes for you on the day of judgment. And also it would be your companion in the grave. Fasting is also it can intercede for you. Okay? The Prophet Muhammad said, fasting and the Quran are two intercessors for the servants of Allah on the day of resurrection. Fasting, we say, oh Lord, I prevented him from his food and desire during the day. Let me intercede for him. The Quran also would say, I prevented him from sleeping at night. Let me intercede for him. And their intercession will be accepted. Okay? So it would intercede for you. All these months that you do correctly, these days of fasting that you do, would be your shafi'ah. Intercede for you on the day of judgment. Then inshallah you go to Jannah. Bab al-Rayyan, who knows? I have a Rayyan here. I don't know where he went. But what is Bab al-Rayyan? You can tell me what's Rayyan? But yeah, it's like a name of people. Yes, Taha. Yes, what's specific about that door? Who goes through that door? Asya. Yes, that gate is only for people who fast. Like, Ar-Rayyan is for fasting people. The Prophet Muhammad said, indeed, there is a gate of paradise called Ar-Rayyan on the day of resurrection. Those who fast will enter through it. No one enters it except for them. And when they have entered, it is closed so that no one else enters it. Okay, so inshallah you'll be all going through many gates, not only the Rayyan one, inshallah many other gates. A code for entering paradise. Why? So there was a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad عبادتي أن إلا الصوم فهو لله سبحانه وتعالى. Allah is the only one that will reward for it. And of course, the great immense reward, Prophet Muhammad said that Allah says every good deed of the son of Adam is for him except for fasting. I just said this. It is for me and I shall reward the fasting person for it. And Allah only knows what is that reward. Okay, so um, I'm gonna have Marwan inshallah talk about key tips during the month of Ramadan. So, fasting, like how we can better our relationship with Allah. And of course, we open the floor. We have you. I mean, if you want to write your questions, the international have the papers and pencil for the one that want to write this. But if you want to ask me a question right away, I mean, directly, no problem. Just raise your hand and we'll give you the mic. So I have my talk and then we'll open it for questions, inshallah. Okay? Thank you.
I just shared a couple of reflections on the verses on Ramadan. So in the Quran, Ramadan is mentioned by name how many times? Give me a count of opinions. How many times do you think? And I think it was said in the video too. 4. Do we think more or less? If you want, that's correct. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. So the only time that Ramadan is mentioned in the Quran is in Surah Al-Baqarah, and it talks about the Quran being revealed in this month.
Just the word Ramadan.
Yeah, so it's fasting is discussed multiple times in the Quran, but the word Ramadan is said only once. And when it's said, the first thing that it's associated with is the Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. So, if you, this is just a general question. If you miss somebody, what do you do? If you miss somebody, what do you do? Anybody? Yeah. You call them, right? You want why do you call them? If you miss what specific person? Their communication, their voice, their words, right? So when you miss Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you feel like there's so much distance between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do? What are you supposed to do, right? Read the Quran because the words of who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whenever you remember, any time that you have, pick up the Quran. I know you might not know how to read directly from the Quran, use an app. This is the translation. Read the Quran, either in Arabic or English, but Quran is meant to be understood and listened to in Arabic. Right? There are two things that you do during Ramadan. You listen to the Quran in Arabic, and you also read it on your own. So if you can't read it, you can listen to the translation. But one main tip I would have is just pick up the Quran, pick up an app, and listen to it. Try to distance yourself from the music, distance yourself from any other distraction, and just take a certain amount of time to do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing is that sometimes we think that when we're older, then we'll turn and become more religious. When we're older, then we'll repent, right? Well, who's going to guarantee you that? Who's going to guarantee you? Or we think that once I can start counting the years I have left on one hand, then I'll start repenting, right? Nobody can guarantee you that, right? You only have what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills for you, and you never know when that is. So you turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before it's too late. Right? You have 30 days. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Ramadan in the Quran, what does he say? He says, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ. Limited days. You got 30 days. Limited edition. You know when it says a sale and it says 30% off of this one, Black Friday, when people start taking lines for tickets from like Thursday night? Why do people do that? Because they know it's an opportunity not to be missed. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ in the Quran, He's telling you this is an opportunity not to be missed. Right? So you take advantage of every second you got. You wake up in the morning, you can barely open your eyes, you're going to math class, don't put on music. Wake yourself up with the words of Allah. This is a wake-up call from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ramadan is starting Thursday. You can start by small steps. Nobody's saying get up and pray all through the night, skip school the next day, because you can't function. No, you take your prayer seriously, your 5 prayers seriously. Then, if you have a chance and you come to the mosque, come and stand in prayer. Stand in prayer with your fellow Muslims brothers and sisters. Stand in prayer, turn to left, and make that their change in your life. Okay?
By the way, if you have any question, you can interrupt us and ask questions.
Yeah, I think those are my main two tips. So for end, turn to left sometime before it's too late, and Ramadan is limited. Take advantage of it as soon as possible. Yeah. So in the video as well, talking about how Ramadan is a training, right? It's a short amount of time, and you got to take advantage of it before, and then afterwards, you continue the same habits. You build habits on Ramadan, and you can continue through the rest of your life, right? So in this document that Prophet is sharing, it talks about all the things to avoid in Ramadan. Because fasting is not just cutting off from food or water, right? Fasting is cutting off from anything, cutting off from anything that distracts you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So of these, of course, are lying, cheating, deception, jealousy. These are all characteristics that we want to avoid. We want to build our character and especially our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ramadan. Excessive sleep. I know that sometimes, especially when you stay awake until well, we still do that. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but if you do that and they sleep until after, get up a little bit so you can at least wake up and be ready to drink some water at moments. So try to avoid doing these things. Backbiting, of course.
There are so many things that, inshallah, we'll go more in details about this, but things that we avoid, also things that are that we are encouraged to do to get a reward. Of course, be patient. It's very important. Honesty, integrity, do istighfar, help others, be trustworthy, take care of your parents or anyone that needs help. Be cooperative, speak well about people, forgive people. Allahumma inni ta'ala, Allahumma inni ta'ala. You hear a lot of people saying that, right? When it gets to you, you astaghfirullah, Allahumma inni ta'ala. Gentleness, smiling, give good advice, give charity, busy your tongue and your remembrance of Allah. So if anyone is interested in these tips, I can print them out for you, or I can send them in the book, inshallah. Abdul Rahman, you have a question? It's the opposite of being arrogant. Be humble, right? So these are the things that it's good to practice during the month of Ramadan. Any one of you have questions? Anyone? Questions about Ramadan? Specifically about something that you don't know how to do in Ramadan? Yes, anyone? Like to don't be arrogant, to be modest, to just to follow the steps of the prophets and not like trying to show off. Any other questions?
Also, just carry yourself with dignity and don't demand respect. Respect comes to you when you carry yourself with dignity. Well,
I'll do a quick hadith real quick. The Khatam of Fashir already gave an answer, right? So if you're paying attention, you'll be able to answer, but I'm going to say it in English, and I want you guys to finish it, or someone. Fasting is a shield, so the fasting person should avoid obscene speech and should not behave foolishly and ignorantly. And if somebody fights with him or insults him, you should tell him twice.
I just said it.
What is that? I am fasting. So that being said, wait, first of all, does anyone have any questions before I kind of make this closing note? Any questions you guys want to ask?
Yes, I have a question back there. You know? Okay. I mean, I'm not an imam, but I know for a fact that a test or doing track or doing some kind of sport does not allow you to break your fast. You cannot just break your fast because you cannot think straight or inshallah put your trust on Allah, trust on Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. You can So yeah, so that and also I think someone asked me earlier, I can't remember who, but for people that like for example you have a headache, you start fasting and you have a headache, you break your fast to take your nap. Now there's a situation where you cannot continue the day. And that's like literally, it's you cannot do anything because the pain is so strong that you have to take that med to break your fast. So you break your fast and you redo it then. Or you cannot just because all you had is small headache because of course in the beginning of the fast because you're not used to fast every day. Especially if you drink coffee or if you eat a lot of sugar, so your body is gonna, give you these headaches in the beginning of the month. That's not an excuse for you to break your fast. Okay?
It's more so like if it's not if you're not taking people to the hospital,
Yes, yes. And I also heard for example the travel, even though it's a whole like but some scholars they would go to say like, especially nowadays, everything is like the travel is so easy, like you go on the airplane, like it's not, you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean it's better not to, if I say it that way.
in the last edition, the last piece of advice I would give is try to get one good deed and stay consistent with it. Because there's a heavy question saying the importance of having one good consistent deed rather than a lot all at once and then never again. So try to take one good deed and stay consistent with it. And one sin and get rid of it. And stay consistent with it. And remember that when the last time kind of says, I touching the heavy net, hold on to the rope of Allah and don't let go. So once you hold on during Ramadan, once you get a hang of all of the wajibah, everything that you need to do, and you get some good habits, hold on to it. Don't let go after Ramadan. Hold on to that. Because the blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're able to do this. It's a training that you get to finish, and then you continue after, and then when Ramadan comes again next year, inshallah, then you can have even better habits, and then you continuously grow. Think of it as New Year's resolution. This is your time to set goals that you're going to keep for the rest of the year. Okay?
And just to continue on that, and on that note, and we inshallah we don't have to open we close because we need to try in about 2 minutes. The tip that I would give you, pick up a good friend. You companion through this journey of Ramadan. Pick up a good friend that will help you in doing your fasting right. Okay? And set, like we're gonna give you planners that if you do not want to take it, you want to do this your own self, as Mara said, pick one ibadah that you like to marry yourself and keep track of it. Do a journal, whatever you want to do. Start slow. Don't make it like crazy. I want to pray. You do not even pray your 5 prayers and then you decide to pray everything and then do the tarawih and we can put the hajjud and read the Quran. Let's be realistic. Try to do things that you can maintain during the month, the whole month. Not like after 2 months you get tired. Okay? So it's prayer time, inshallah. If there is any question, we stay around. You can come and ask us, inshallah. Thank you so much, guys. Boys, you can go and ask the friend.
Make wudu, if you don't have wudu, please. Boys.